All right, let's begin with some breaking news coming in. Mumbai police has yet again blocked the enforcement directorate. We're being told that the ED has not received digital evidence from Mumbai police and also the Mumbai police forensic audit report. That's the latest information coming in. Let's go right across to Bhavtosh Singh, who's joining us for more on the story. Bhavtosh, this is just the latest in a series of such reports. It was first the Bihar police and now the ED saying, they've said it before and they're repeating that it is the Mumbai police that is not cooperating and sharing relevant information with them.
Madhav, earlier in the day, Times Now spoke to some senior officials in Mumbai Police, and it was a source-based information in which they claimed that they have shared some documents as well as some testimonies of witness with the enforcement directorate, thus giving themselves a clean sheet and saying that they are cooperating with the federal probe agency. But when we tried cross-checking the information with ED, the top brass in ED has said that two things that they have been demanding right from day one. One is that they should hand over the digital evidence that they had seized, which include mobile phones of Sushant Singh Rajput and his 2 laptops. Well, that has not yet been shared with Mumbai police. 4 reminders were sent last week. Apart from that, there was a forensic audit that was done by Mumbai police by Grant Thornton. That report till now, as we are speaking, has not been received by the enforcement directorate. Now, today, Mumbai police officials had in fact told Times Now that there was around 17 crore rupees in the 4 bank accounts of Sushant Singh Rajput, whereas ED had said that their entire focus is about siphoning of funds from one bank account of Sushant Singh Rajput, whose nominee was in fact Priyanka, and for this purpose they had spoken to KK Singh, Sushant Singh Rajput's father. ED somewhere believes that there is an attempt to obstruct them from carrying out the probe in this case, because ED has already sent for forensic examination and retrieval of data, electronic equipments and gadgets of Rhea Chakraborty. They want to cross-check this with the electronic equipment of Sushant Singh Rajput, but till now they have not been handed over to the enforcement directorate.
All right, Bhavtosh, I'd like to thank you for joining us with that update. In fact, all right, Bhavtosh, the fact is also that this investigation that is being looked at from multiple angles, it's a similar charge that we've seen earlier come in from the enforcement directorate as well about the sharing of information. Earlier, the Bihar police too had made a similar claim that they were not given the adequate forensic reports.
Madhav, because of these very reasons, that the fact that Mumbai police have been stalling even a federal probe agency, the CBI has decided to go slow till the Supreme Court gives some kind of clarity as far as the jurisdiction issue is concerned. Senior officials in the CBI's SIT have said that for sure they know that if they now ask for any kind of document, they will say the matter is sub judice and they can't hand over the autopsy report as well as several other documents, including the photographs of the crime scene, which they want to cross-verify with forensic experts and also seek a second opinion from doctors at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. And ED from beginning have said that their focus is only on whether there is a case of money laundering, whether there has been siphoning of funds using shell companies. The fact is that after questioning around 13 odd individuals in this case, they do believe that people are not speaking the truth as far as the case is concerned. They are trying to hide the information. They're not sharing the information with them. And for this very purpose, ED wanted digital evidence as well as the forensic report, which has not been handed over even as we speak.
All right. Thanks so much, Bhavtosh, for joining us. We'll continue to track all those developments in this story. Some more breaking news coming in now. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, Maharashtra's Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar are having a meeting at the Bal Thackeray Memorial. Discussion on several issues is currently underway and the Sushant issue is also likely to be discussed. So a high-level meeting there in the state of Maharashtra, the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister and the Home Minister who are attending this very crucial meeting. Let's go across to Arunil, who's with us. Arunil, take us through the agenda of this meeting. It's a high-level meeting. What exactly is on the agenda?
Actually, the agenda is different, but we also understand that this meeting happening at the Bal Thackeray Memorial, discussion is expected on the late actor Sushant Singh Rajput case as well. And we know there is a mounting pressure on the Maharashtra government, particularly Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who on the next day of actor Sushant Singh Rajput's death had openly announced that it is a clear-cut case of suicide. And now with the case expected to go to the CBI only after the Supreme Supreme Court verdict. What will be the stance of the Maharashtra government, who has been completely opposing the move of the case going to the CBI? This is a significant development with the CM, the Deputy CM of Maharashtra, as well as the Home Minister Anil Deshmukh meeting in Dadar.
All right, thanks so much for joining us with that update there, Anil. We'll keep tracking all the developments on that crucial meeting. And moving on, was money the motive in the mysterious death of Sushant Singh Rajput? Times Now gets you explosive testimonies which debunk the slander spree embarked upon by Team Rhea. Playing the victim card, Rhea mocks his grieving family, saying their war cry of justice for Sushant was merely an afterthought. Are these mere diversionary tactics to derail the probe into the dubious money trail? And as released by Team Rhea, Sushant's sister Priyanka, as well as details as far as family members are concerned, that's where the statement is riddled with contradictions. Sample the unanswered questions. Rhea is the daughter of an Indian Army surgeon and a Maharashtrian housewife. Is Team Rhea invoking the father's army background to garner goodwill? Till today, nothing incriminating has been found against her, says the statement. The question is, how can Team Rhea come to a conclusion even before the probe is complete? All right, moving on, immediately after the Team Rhea statement came out, Sushant's family lawyer hit back at her for trying to derail the probe. Listen into Vikas.
परसेप्शन बैटल भी चल रहा है ना, वो परसेप्शन बैटल में सोच रही हैं, क्योंकि सब लोग अब धीरे धीरे समझ गए हैं कि क्या हुआ है सुशांत के साथ। उनको लग रहा है कि इस परसेप्शन बैटल में कुछ हम इस तरह की बात बोले जिससे लोगों का मन जो है वो कहीं ना कहीं उनके तरफ कुछ सहानुभूति आए उनके लिए। और मैं आपको बता दूं, मैंने तो अपनी ज़िंदगी में नहीं सुना आज तक कि इस तरह का कोई एलिगेशन हुई। तो इस तरह वियर्ड एलिगेशन बिल्कुल है कि इस तरह के वियर्ड एलिगेशन को बनाया उन्होंने सिर्फ इसीलिए क्योंकि उनको मालूम था कि सुशांत बहुत ज़्यादा डिपेंड करते थे प्रियंका के। प्रियंका उनके अकाउंट्स भी देखती थी। प्रियंका जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम सुशांत को होता था तो प्रियंका को बुलाते थे और प्रियंका सारा कुछ करती थी। अगर सुशांत उनके नज़र में, जैसा वो खुद कहना चाह रही हैं, इतनी तबीयत खराब थी, मानसिक हालत इतनी खराब थी, इस मानसिक हालत में जब वो छोड़ के गई तो किसको उन्होंने बताया परिवार के कि ये दवाई चल रही है, इनका ये दवाई खिलाना बहुत ज़रूरी है, इनका देख रेख करो, ऐसा ना हो कि कुछ गलती हो जाए। और उसके बाद जब वो चली भी गई, अगर उनका कहना है कि उनके तरफ से तो कोई वो हुई नहीं थी, कोई झगड़ा भी नहीं था, वो तो नहीं कह रही कोई झगड़ा हुआ था, अगर चली गई थी तो फिर उसके बाद क्यों नहीं उन्होंने फ़ोन पे उनका एक्सेप्ट किया? आप देखिए इंक्वेस्ट प्रोसीडिंग के दौरान लोगों का आना जाना, घर में कोई सामान लेके बाहर जा रहा है, कोई पुलिस ने कोई सीरियसनेस नहीं बरता कि भाई एकदम पूरे उस एरिया को सील करें, जो वहाँ घर में थे उनको क्वेश्चन करें, उनको ग्रिल करें, समझने की कोशिश करें कि अगर टंगा तो किस तरह से टंगा, उस जिस पंखे पे वजन उसका ले भी सकता था कि नहीं ले सकता था, क्योंकि किसी ने सुशांत को हैंग करते नहीं देखा है। और सुशांत के गले पे जो निशान है वो अब जिस तरह से बातें आ रही हैं, जिस तरह से पिठानी बदल गया है इस मामले में, जो पिठानी परिवार के साथ था एफआईआर लॉन्च होने तक और परिवार को मदद कर रहा था और बाद में पलट गया, उसने रिया को एक ईमेल भेजा उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए, तो कहीं ना कहीं बहुत ही बड़ा सवालिया निशान उठ रहा है कि ये सुसाइड है ही नहीं। अगर ये सुसाइड नहीं है तो फिर तो इंक्वेस्ट में सारी बातें बिल्कुल क्लियर हो जानी चाहिए थी। देखिए आदित्य ठाकरे का तो हमारे कंप्लेंट में भी कोई जिक्र नहीं है, इसलिए मैं क्यों बोलने जाऊँगा। अगर नहीं जानती है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, नहीं जानती है मतलब वो जानती है नहीं जानती है, वो बोल क्यों रही है? हमने एफआईआर में या कोई परिवार की तरफ से कोई ऐसा स्टेटमेंट आया है जो हमने कहा है कि आदित्य ठाकरे का कोई इसमें इन्वॉल्वमेंट है? तो पता नहीं कि जैसे कहते हैं ना चोर के दाढ़ी में तिनका, आप बोल क्यों रही हैं अपनी तरफ से? आदित्य ठाकरे जस्ट कुछ मीडिया चैनल चला रहे हैं या कुछ लोगों ने बोल दिया, इसमें उनको डिनाइल करने की क्या जरूरत थी? क्योंकि परिवार की तरफ से तो कभी कोई ऐसा कोई एसोसिएशन होने की कोई बात नहीं कही गई है।
All right, let's go right across to our guests who are joining us. With us is Gopal Agarwal, spokesperson of the BJP. Ajay Agarwal, advocate, is with us from the national capital as well. Also with us is Prashant Patel. We have with us Subransh Rai, political analyst as well. Rizwan Siddiqui, advocate, is also joining us on the broadcast. Let me begin with you first, Gopal Agarwal. What do you make of the statement that has come out from Team Rhea? The family lawyer, of course, says that it's riddled with several inconsistencies. Gopal Agarwal.
So that is nothing to do with the case. The factors which are pointing towards Rhea's involvement are very clear. And the issue with which the Maharashtra government is acting is also very much perturbing everybody. Every citizen of the country is now so much worried, except the Maharashtra government and the Maharashtra police. They are just not trying to get to the bottom of it. What everybody is asking, go to the bottom of it. And the Maharashtra police and the Maharashtra government has shown their incompetence or their lethargy in the whole issue. They do not want to go to the bottom and properly investigate that.
Subransh Rai, what is preventing the Maharashtra police from investigating this matter, not even filing an FIR after 64 days, sir?
That issue clearly shows that there is a intention to not get to the bottom of this investigation. That is the way what has been coming out.
The question is of Subransh Rai. Subransh Rai.
About three big important lines which actually related with the Sushant Rajput suicide case. The first, after 20-25 days media trial, entire nation is looking.
What do you mean media trial, sir? What has the Bombay police done? Has it done its investigation properly? No, what do you mean by saying this is a media trial?
Entire nation is looking as earlier.
What do you mean by media trial, sir? What is the Mumbai police doing? Are you saying they have done a correct job? Have they fulfilled their duty as the police?
Can I complete my word? Yeah, it is a duty of police. It is a duty of
to not file FIR.
And once the state government
to not file the FIR.
It is a responsibility.
This is a new way of investigating, sir. Where for 60 days you don't file an FIR.
The problem is with that, from last 48 hours, 3 rape happened in Uttar Pradesh, where media is busy. Do you have time to talk against the Yogi government? The answer is big no. Maharashtra minister.
Sir, are you here to discuss Yogi or are you here to discuss Sushant Singh Rajput's death? No, please stick to the subject at hand, Mr. Subransh Rai.
Minister Aslam Sheikh is already saying to the media, if Central is looking for as necessary, surely they can go for CBI. Because end of the day, entire nation is looking justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. But along with Sushant Singh Rajput, multiple rape, murder happened into the Uttar Pradesh as well. Young PCS officer, Money Mantri is murdered into Uttar Pradesh, Balia. Their families claimed for the CBI inquiry.
Okay, let's quickly bring in other panelists as well. I want to bring in Ajay Agarwal. Ajay Agarwal, you've heard this panelist, and here you have Subransh Rai and others who would have us believe that Mumbai police is doing a fair job. It's their discretion as police to decide what course of action to take.
No,
they don't file it unusual that for 65 days there's no, or 64 days there is no
not
FIR.
at all. In fact, Mumbai police is suppressing the facts. Mumbai police is suppressing the fact, destroying the material evidence. And why the Maharashtra government is shy of any CBI inquiry when the entire country is demanding in one voice CBI inquiry, when the victim family is demanding for a CBI inquiry? Why Maharashtra government is shy of ordering a CBI inquiry? Clearly, you know, what the people are alleging that the family of Mr. Uddhav Thackeray is involved, son of Uddhav Thackeray is involved, Aditya Thackeray is involved. That is why they are shying of ordering CBI inquiry in the matter.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, calm down. We're going to slip into a quick break. I'll also request, in fact, Prashant Patel and Rizwan Siddiqui to stay on with us. Thank you for your patience, gentlemen. We're going to continue with this discussion right after this very short break. All right, let's go right back to our guests who are with us. In fact, Prashant Patel with us as well on the broadcast. Prashant Patel, what do you make of these statements that are being made by Subransh Rai that everything has been according to law, that the Mumbai police has acted as per procedure, but that's not what the family is saying?
See, Mumbai police have not registered any FIR yet in 65 days. And Mumbai police saying that they are doing investigation under 174 CRPC. 174 CRPC will be for till the postmortem report is out. When the postmortem report is out, after 2 days, then no need of purpose of 174 CRPC. Mumbai police is doing just only only Bihar police has jurisdiction to investigate the.
Right. Rizwan Siddiqui, is it just a slander campaign that is now being engaged in? Because a statement that has been released by Team Rhea only appears to point fingers at the family of Sushant Singh Rajput.
Well, I believe that Rhea is trying to do whatever is in her means to ensure that the character assassination part, she is not becoming a victim of that. And she is trying to use diversionary tactics and other tactics to ensure that her name and goodwill is protected in the entire bargain, because till now the police has not really framed her in any manner whatsoever. They have not even shown anything which suggests that she is guilty of any crime, whether cheating, breach of trust, illegal confinement or whatsoever. But nonetheless, whatever information that is coming out through Times Now channel and whatever has been shown till now clearly suggests that there's much more than what meets the eye. And as far as the police investigation is concerned, it was a shoddy investigation till now in the name of inquest. Nothing has been done. Forget the inquest and forget the suicide that they are claiming. Even going back to February 2020, when the police first received information under Section 149 and 150, they did not do anything as a preventive measure of CRPC.
Respond to that, Subransh Rai. It was a shoddy investigation. The police didn't do anything as per law, as per procedure. That's what all the lawyers on this panel are saying. You're unfortunately in a minority today.
Madhav, again, two big things which is coming into the mind, and as for the present situation, already it is a part of investigation, and investigation done by the police, neither from any private institutions or any individual being. So what is the time taken process? That is exactly updated by the Maharashtra police. No one can into the third party route. But the big question and big relief goes, because already Maharashtra Minister Aslam Sheikh has told if the government has wishes to go for...
Quick rebuttal from Gopal Agarwal. 30 seconds, Gopal Agarwal. Almost out of time here.
Yeah, the thing is that the scene of the crime was not properly covered. The forensic report, all the things which were required. How will you now do investigation when at the scene of the crime you did not do proper investigation at the scene of the crime? Then the postmortem, there are so many lapses. That only shows that you are not interested. And after this so much of time, even FIR is not filed. So how you investigate? What is FIR? First investigation report. So that shows that there is no investigation. You are just trying to...
All right, no investigation, only a slander campaign. Unfortunately, that's what this case has been reduced to. I'd like to thank all of you gentlemen for joining us. Rizwan Siddiqui, Prashant Patel, as well as Subransh Rai, Gopal Agarwal and Ajay Agarwal for joining us on the show this evening. Slipping into a quick break for now. Okay, breaking news coming in. Days after Air India Express flight from Dubai overshot the runway at Calicut and crashed, breaking apart, killing 18 people on board. Now questions are being raised over the tampering of the crash site. Civil aviation expert and former pilot, in fact, Captain Amit Singh, has written to the Civil Aviation Secretary alleging tampering with the evidence at the site of the Calicut crash. He cited visuals that were obtained from that particular day. In fact, my colleague Hina is with us. Hina, this is very, very huge. An allegation that the site where a very important data would have been otherwise present was perhaps tampered with. It's a very serious allegation by the aviation expert.
That's right. Civil aviation expert and former pilot Captain Amit Singh has in fact written to Civil Aviation Secretary alleging tampering with evidence at the site of the Calicut crash. In fact, in this email that he has sent to Civil Aviation Secretary, he has also included certain images which, according to him, seem to suggest that, there was somebody who was tampering with the evidence.
All right, Hina, please stay with us because Captain Amit Singh is now joining us. Captain, you're a fellow of the Royal Aeronautical Society. A lot of violations that have been reported in the past, but what exactly is the charge really that we are making over here, the observation that you've seen?
Well, what I've seen on the media reports is there are people inside the cockpit soon after the accident, which is about 2 to 3 hours after the accident occurred, and they're looking for something in specific. What is suspicious here is that people are coming in with crowbars and rummaging through the files, throwing paper around, looking for something in specific. They take out a document which looks like a passport, then they put it back, and thereafter another team comes. So there are about 2 or 3 teams which can be seen, and finally they pull out a bag of plastic with some documents. So what is it that they are looking for? And secondly, as per this is a site of crime, an accident has happened.
What sort of data or documents could be there which could help in the potential forensic understanding, or what could be perhaps being potentially covered up? What exactly is your apprehension here, Captain Singh? All right, there's a big breaking news coming in. The Supreme Court is to hear the Sushant case tomorrow. That's a big development coming in. This is a crucial hearing in the case. Justice Roy hearing this matter, and now, of course, the orders were reserved last week. Now, information coming in that this case is likely to be heard tomorrow. That's the information coming in. We will, in fact, go across to our legal editor, Harish Nair, in just a few moments, but very, very crucial information coming in that the Supreme Court verdict in the Sushant case is to come out tomorrow. That's the information coming in as far as the details on the hearing of this entire case are concerned. Remember, last Thursday, all parties, the 5 parties in the case, including the state of Maharashtra, the state of Bihar, Rhea Chakraborty's lawyers, the lawyers of the family, and the legal team representing the centre, all had to give in their submissions. Those submissions were given in last Thursday, and now, of course, orders that are likely to be passed tomorrow. That's the very, very crucial hearing in the Sushant Singh Rajput death case. Will the Supreme Court decide on whether the CBI can continue with its investigation? What will its orders really be? Because that was, in a sense, challenged by Team Rhea as well as the Maharashtra government in the Supreme Court. So very crucial to see which way the court really decides. Let's go across to Harish, who's joining us for more on this. Harish, very important hearing that is to take place tomorrow. Can we expect orders coming in from the Apex Court?
Yes, madam. Going by the court list, going by the information in the Supreme Court website, it looks like the judgment is the all-important judgment is finally coming tomorrow, because as per the computer-generated date, it shows 19th August, which means that till now the court list is not out. But it looks like even the website says that tentatively the judgment is listed for tomorrow at 10 a.m., which means that the judgment might come tomorrow. So it's going to be very important because even the CBI is waiting for the Supreme Court verdict to get going, because that is the importance of this order. And tomorrow the Supreme Court will decide on the plea filed by Rhea Chakraborty seeking transfer of the FIR registered in Patna to Mumbai. So tomorrow the curtains will be drawn on the jurisdiction. Remember, after a 3-hour marathon hearing, we had seen how there was a fight over jurisdiction, political pressure, and murder of CRPC. That happened last on August 11th when the verdict was reserved. So
right.
Tomorrow
Harish, quickly take us through what are likely the outcomes that could take place tomorrow. Is it just about the jurisdiction of the CBI, or is it in fact one of the lawyers, particularly Abhishek Manu Singhvi, had even raised questions about the ability of the bench to hear this particular matter? What can we see potentially happening tomorrow? What are the possible outcomes tomorrow?
As we know, there is a fight regarding jurisdiction between Bihar and Maharashtra. And while Sushant's family and Maharashtra and Bihar government is demanding a CBI probe, Maharashtra government and Rhea Chakraborty's family is opposing the CBI probe. Remember, Vikas Singh, the lawyer for Sushant's family, has repeatedly questioned why Rhea is opposing a CBI probe, when even she had earlier tweeted that there should be a CBI probe, and she had even repeated that in the petition filed in the Supreme Court, in the additional affidavit, and in the written submission. But so tomorrow, it's likely that the Supreme Court will deliver judgment.
Harish, please stay with us. We have Vivek Narayan joining the broadcast. Also with us is Bhavtosh Singh. We have Priyank Tripathi as well as Siddhant Mishra also joining us on this broadcast. Bhavtosh, I'll come to you first. This is very, very crucial. The fact that the court will be hearing this matter is not just about the jurisdiction of the CBI itself, of which there have been arguments and counter arguments from both the sides of Bihar, Maharashtra, the family of Sushant Singh Rajput, as well as Rhea Chakraborty's legal team. It was a marathon hearing, as Harish was telling us, but what can we potentially see taking place tomorrow?
Well, Madhav, most importantly, it will also decide how you interpret Section 177 and 179 of CRPC, whether state police from which has not, where the crime has not taken place, can that state police investigate a criminal investigation, carry out a criminal investigation? More importantly, the contentious issue of Section 6 of the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. Did Bihar Police have passed?
It's going to be a landmark judgment, Bhavtoj. Please stay with us. In fact, I request all our other reporters also stay on with us. Sujay Kantawala, lawyer, is joining us on the phone line. Sujay Kantawala, the court is all set to hear this matter tomorrow. Whichever way you may look at it, this is going to be a landmark judgment of the Supreme Court, because this is certainly going to set a precedent for the future.
Yes, I agree with you. And all of us are eagerly waiting for the Honorable Judge to pronounce the judgment tomorrow, hopefully. Because on many aspects, this is going to be a landmark ruling. All the sides were heard, and the victim's family, Rhea's counsel, everyone was heard who was even remotely connected. So the judge, to do complete justice and pass a holistic judgment for all future purposes, it would be very interesting to see as to how and on what basis the judgment is going to be pronounced.
Okay,
the other
stay with us, Mr. Kantawala, please stay with us. Would also like to bring in Mr. Majid Memon, who's joining us on the phone line. Mr. Majid Memon, either way one may look at it, it's going to be an important legal precedent that will be set with tomorrow's Supreme Court verdict that is expected.
Well, Supreme Court is going to exercise its powers as though it is a case of an Indian citizen who is seeking justice from this side or that side. They are not, hyped like how we people would be talking in public or on television channels, lots of comments flowing, etc., etc. Supreme Court has to confine itself not to the emotions or the feelings of the people this side or that side, but to the settled principles of criminal jurisprudence. They would feel that, well, in the circumstances, in the background, and in the facts and law that are applicable to the instant case, whether it would be appropriate to interfere, A, B, whether it would be appropriate to order removal of the investigation from a delinquent investigating agency if they are satisfied, and then handing it over to CBI. So we have to quietly wait till Supreme Court verdict comes, and it is better we don't preempt. I, as an officer of the court, I have a responsibility not to presuppose or preempt anything.
No one is preempting. No one is preempting what will happen, sir. But whatever happens, whatever be the outcome, this will be a legal precedent. That's all that we are saying. And I please request you to stand with us. I want Sujay Kantawala to respond to you. Mr. Sujay Kantawala, what we have here is Majid Memon, who's of course a respected lawyer, coming out to say that the court will only follow the letter of law. It will not be swayed by emotions. Do you agree with that statement?
No, I agree with him. I fully agree with Mr. Majid Memon, and he is absolutely right, because in such matters, and normally in all matters, unless it's a mercy petition, then the court is generally swayed by some emotional argument or otherwise. But this is quite a cut and dry legal issue, whether A has to happen or B is to happen. So emotions would not at all come in the picture. It will be strictly the letter of law. How IPC, CRPC and all provisions are to be interpreted. CBI, once having taken over, registered an FIR, how that is to be interpreted. These all issues will be decided.
All right. Very, very significant there. But Mr. Majid Memon, here we have seen each side come out, make allegations. There have been, character slamming taking place. We have seen Rhea Chakraborty come out and her team come out and make several statements that have come out in the public domain. So the kind of, muck that we've been seeing coming out in the public, this too is of course something, or attempts at least, to influence what has really taken place, or arguments that have been put forth by the side.
Well, as rightly said by my fellow participant, that the Supreme Court would be guided by the legal principles, and I think we all would have to patiently wait and see what the best Supreme Court finds appropriate in the case.
All right, Majid Memon and Sujay Kantawala, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us, as well as our reporters, in fact, who continue to be with us. We're going to slip into a quick break, but we're going to come to all of you for an update in just a few moments. Stay tuned. All right, the big development now coming in at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. The Supreme Court will be deciding on who will investigate the Sushant Singh death matter. In fact, let's quickly go across to Siddhant and Priyank, who are also with us. Siddhant, tomorrow morning will be very crucial because that's when the Supreme Court will decide on who will probe this matter.
Well, that's right, Madhav. Tomorrow it's going to be a very crucial day, and not just Sushant's family, but crores of Sushant's fans have been waiting for this day, because day by day the demand for CBI is increasing, and we have spoken to his staff, we have spoken to his friends, the people that were close to Sushant, all have started demanding CBI for SSR. This is the hashtag that is trending, and tomorrow again it's going to be a very crucial
all right,
day.
Let's quickly go across to Vivek. Vivek, I believe you have that information with you. Vivek Narayan with us on the broadcast. Yes. Vivek, take us through what we can expect tomorrow.
Well, it just says, as our reporters were telling us, it is the sense of finality in one way for those crores of fans of Sushant Singh Rajput who want a probe in it, who want an end to the entire episode. Remember today, the Rhea statement today was very interesting. The person who had asked for a CBI inquiry into it today is talking about the fact that federal structure of India has been attacked. And right behind me, of course, is the case list which is put out by the Supreme Court of India. It says registered on 31/7/2020, verified 31, Honorable Mr. Justice Rishikesh Roy. Well, that's the case which is coming up tomorrow. After a lot of, last time when there was a hearing, we heard how heated it was, how both parties were so emotional and so carried away by the way the things were happening. Yeah. Especially the political part of it, Madhav, was interesting when one of the parties said it's all about politics which is happening in Bihar.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, also what's very significant, Vivek, is that the centre observed that because the two states are fighting, it becomes a fit case for the CBI to probe this entire matter. I'd like to thank all our reporters for joining us. We'll certainly be tracking all those developments tomorrow morning. For the moment, we're slipping into a quick break.